All right, good morning, everyone. Please let me know if you can hear me in the chat. All right. Hey, thank you. Good morning to you. And we're going to get right to it, guys. So this morning, we have CPI coming out for the dollar, and they're expecting month over month to be higher, zero point 0.2 to zero point 0.3. Or the core, they're expecting to be higher. Regular month, they're expecting no change. And year over year, they're expecting CPI to be lower from 3.2 to 3.1. Guys, CPI is one of those days where you become a millionaire, okay? um, Whenever we have, uh, this kind of news for inflation and what have you, the markets tend to move very far, okay? Especially the dollar. And then that causes all the other pairs to also, um, you know, move very far. So all the major pairs, as well as whatever is correlated with it, like gold, NAS, the indices, the whole nine. So um, really, what I'm trying to say is, 8:30 today is going to be a very eventful day. All right. So get ready for it. So we got to really analyze this. What the dollar's doing right now. We got to analyze it right so that we can know, what our opportunities will be, once news hits. So here it is, guys. On the dollar, what I believe is going to happen is that we're going to, again, we're in a uptrend right now, right? But you guys can see that from this higher time frame, we are still in a downtrend. Okay, so we got the run, the pullback, the run, the pullback. All right. Yes, we could have counted all this in the middle, but for the most part, with the structure from the higher time frame, right, we're still going down. All right. So just got to keep that in mind. So, this typically throws off a lot of people to where when they see this right here, okay, and again, we're on the daily chart. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So for the past 2 weeks, okay, roughly, we've been going up on the dollar, all right? And of course, we could continue going up just depending on what happens with CPI. But when you look at this compared to what you see on the higher time frame, right, the daily, well, this is still the daily, but when you look at it, the rest of the price action with the candles, you see that we're falling. All right. So this is pretty much up, and we've changed structure. All right. Let me give you guys this as well, and then we'll get started. But we kind of have a little bit of a head and shoulders. Okay. All right. There you have it. So with this, guys, this is a bullish reversal pattern. All right. So we broke this high point right here. This was the lower high. We broke above that to make a higher high, and then we made a higher low. So now, we're getting ready to, take off, but we're just in the pullback phase. So as of yesterday, or pretty much as of right now, right, this current candle that's pushing down, it's broken the low of the previous day. Okay. So what that really means is that typically it wants to continue going lower. All right. Now, how low will it go? Like the song, we don't know. Okay. But we do know there's a higher low here. So when we look down on the lower time frame, And this is what it's all about, right? This is how you put it all together. Do you see how when you go to the lower time frame, how that higher low gets more, I'm sorry, that head and shoulders gets more defined, all right? You're able to read things a lot better, okay, to where you can either get in early or, just get confirmation of what you're looking for, all right? So there it is on the 4 hour where our head and shoulders is more defined. And then we can see that we have this order block sitting right here. There's also one obviously sitting in here that we can potentially pull back to before beginning to rise. All right, guys. So again, what I'm expecting on the dollar this morning is for it to rise, okay? But um, because we're pulling back right now and because we've broken the previous day low, right? You definitely want to see more bulls show up first before you look for any opportunities that line up with the dollar rising. Okay, that's how that goes. Now, again, in here, you can probably find another order block. So let's go to the lower time frame, and I'll say, let's go 15-minute. Okay, I'll say it's right here. All right, so now basically all I did, guys, was grab this. Let me put it to the back so you guys can see it. Okay, if you see this red candle, get rid of this. Okay, right here, this last red candle is the candle that, I'm highlighting, all right, because this was the last bearish candle before we broke above this high. All right, guys, so this is how you find order blocks. All we do is look at market structure, okay? And you can see here from this 15-minute time frame, right? We got the run, pullback, run, pullback, run, pullback, run. But this run did not break the low, okay? So now all of a sudden, we don't have the run has stopped. That's what it is on the structure, okay? And then we've turned around, okay, here, and we've made this higher low, right? So this is where the bulls came in before eventually on that run, they broke this high, all right? And look, we got our double bottom, okay, which is a bullish reversal pattern, guys. It's very easy, okay? Again, I'll tell you when you understand market structure and you see, someone in my Discord last night, they asked about, hey, and if you guys are in here this morning, hopefully you are, so I can explain this. But you guys asked, what's the difference between uh, a break of structure and a change of character? All right, Martez was good. So again, guys, break of structure is just saying this right here. So here's a low. Okay, that's a low. All right. What happened was price is going down. Here's a low, and it broke that low. Price came below this low, right? But it's still heading down. All right, guys. So breaks of structure are when price breaks a high or a low, but it continues to go in the same direction of the trend. So here is a break of structure to the downside, okay, where it breaks here, breaking this low. This is a break of structure. But then what happens over here with this high, right? We had a high right here, okay? Okay, here was a high point. So now here it is. We going run, pull back, break a structure. All right, run, pull back, run, pull back. break of this high. So from down to now up is the change, okay? This is the change of character. This is the break of structure. This is the change. So again, break of structure is just breaking a low going in the same direction or breaking a high going in the same direction of uptrend, okay? Um, Change of character is when the structure goes from it gets broken, but it goes from breaking a downtrend, right, to beginning to go up, or it begins to break an uptrend beginning to go down, right? So hopefully, that made sense. Again, if it did not, let me know in the chat, and I will give you a better illustration of it to, bring it home. All right, guys. But regardless, here it is. This is what caused this. Was the last bear candle before the bulls. You see the wicks at the bottom of the candle. That simply means the sellers are getting rejected. The buyers stepped in, started pushing it up to eventually they were able to just, take it all the way. Okay, but it was a slow, this is how the market goes, right? Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, but eventually it's showing you that it wants to go up. All right, so you just got to know how to read that, and when you do, things become a whole lot better. So here, I found that order block, and we have three of them. Okay, so I'll bring it back out to the higher time frame. This will make a little more sense. All right, 1 second. Okay, there it is. All right, so now again, we're getting, we can't see how much it's rejecting here on the 4 hour, like in that order block. We can see the wick. Okay, so again, you can already see there is rejection. We can see the wick, but when we go back down to the 15-minute time frame, okay, now we can really see in detail how much it's respecting, right, this order block. It gets in there and it's starting to turn around. All right, so what we need to do is start setting some alerts, all right, to let us know when it's going to go up. All right, just like that. And this is how you guys can go about your day. But depending on how you name these alerts, okay, so I can put, man, get your ass in, right? You can say whatever, right? You know what I mean? But the main thing is to get you to really know what it is that it's doing. So you'll say dollar rising above order block, all right? Boom. So if I get that alert to come up, I'm like, oh shit, the dollar's rising. So I can blindly sell gold. I can blindly sell Euro USD, Pound USD, right? It gives me a notion of something that I can do pretty quickly if I wanted to, okay? Because I've already done the analysis, right? The technical analysis earlier that morning. So later in the day, I already kind of know what's going on, right? I told you guys I'm expecting it to rise. So if all of my alerts that say the dollar is rising, if they go off, well then I know exactly what to do. Okay, and this is how you guys should, kind of operate, or at least you should know, right? You should just know if the dollar's going up, which pair should you sell, which pair should you buy, right? Which commodities should you sell, which commodities should you buy, and of course, the big dogs, which indices you should sell and which ones you should buy. That's why we do this, all right? We don't do this just to, you know, uh, you know, figure out, what it is just with the dollar. No, we're trying to line ourselves up with all the other pairs that it's correlated with, to try to make some money, because again, the dollar is tradable. This index is tradable as a future, but it's not really a forex pair. Okay, in case you guys didn't know that. All right, so um, if you're not with a broker that lets you trade the dollar index, then when you evaluate it like this, right, it's not for you to trade the dollar, right? It is for you to trade all the other pairs that have the dollar in it. All right, so hopefully, again, I made that clear. But here we go. So 4 hour, expecting dollar to rise, but we may get the fall. So I'll put some alerts below. All right. Okay. And again, you can name them or not name them, right? either way, once they go off, you're going to come back and check the dollar. All right. So I'm going to leave it as is, and we'll come back when it's time. But let's get to it. All right. Over to the majors. Okay, Julie, what's good? What's good? And thank you for asking that, because a lot of people want to know that. And believe it or not, it's something very, very simple, as you can see, right? That it's not too difficult to pick up on. It's just you need to see it a few times, and then the light bulb comes on. It's like anything. But um, I'm glad you understand it. And again, if you happen to have more questions around it, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Okay, it's just um, when you hear it for the first time, it's like, okay, I get it. But then when you go to the charts, you start seeing more kind of structure, right? And it keeps breaking, right? So it broke this low, and it broke this low, but then it broke this high, but then it came back, down. And it's like, oh, well, what is it? You might have those days where you're like losing what it was. But again, for the most part, if you just understand that the breaks are in the direction of the trend, right? Those breaks of structure are in the direction of the trend. So I'll put that in there, BOS. Okay, again, that's break of structure. Okay, and happens in the direction of the trend. Okay, sorry for the all caps, but change, all right, of character happens when the trend is reversing into a new trend, into, let's say, the opposite. All right, so there it is, guys. Kind of, take that and keep it for yourself, so you can, again, it won't take long. Um, Julie, it'll take like less than a week, right? All you got to do is show up to the charts and just take a little horizontal ray like this, right? It usually comes like this, right? But just take that and start putting it at all the lows, right, that you see, right? Or just the swings, really, the swings that you see. So when I'm saying swings, all I mean is price does this, goes down, goes up, right? Goes down, goes up, right? Goes down, goes up, right? And when you do that, you'll start to see, okay, this is what Bain's talking about. This is a low, this is a higher low, this is a higher low. Oh, look, we broke this low, right? But so we were going up, but now we broke it to the downside. So now chances are we have a change of character right here, from going high, low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Now we're making lower lows and lower highs and lower lows, and this is a higher high, but still this is a higher low. So it's like right here, all of this, guys, we're consolidating, right? You know what I mean? And this is what you begin to understand when you're able to read market structure and you understand breaks of structure or changes of characters. All right. So over here, when we were in the uptrend, right? Right, Julie, here was a high. Okay. And then once we broke above that, right? Once we broke it, that's a break of structure, because again, we're going in the same direction, right? We even had a break of structure here, right? So that was a high right here, and then we went and broke above it. So all these are breaks of structure, breaks of structure. But this one, this is your change of character, all right? And then it led to, a brief downtrend, but then we went into consolidation, because again, news is getting ready to come out all this week. I just want to let you guys also know that this is a heavy week, even though it's, holidays and what have you, with a lot of major news, a lot. Okay, so get ready for the markets to do some crazy stuff for the rest of the week. All right, now this may be the last week it does it, but again, you never know, right? All you got to do is show up And if the trade is set up and it's ready to go, then pull the trigger, guys. It doesn't matter, if it's, National Happy Day or whatever, right? It just doesn't matter. Take the trade. Yes, CPI. And again, I usually make the most money on CPI, guys. I'm just being honest. It's what it is. Most people tend not to trade on these kind of days, and I understand that, especially if you're a rookie. Okay, it'll be a nightmare for you. But if you're a vet and you've been in the ocean, with the waves for a while, you kind of know what it is. All right. So for me, I always trade, these days. Oh wait, so we got here, all right, and here. All right, so looks like we broke the high of the previous day. Okay, guys. So really weird, but here is one moment. All right, sorry. So here is what I see, a little bit of a head and shoulders. Boom, boom, and boom. All right, so exactly what we got on the dollar, we're starting to get on the odd dollar. All right, now this is confusing. Well, not confusing. This is um, this is not supposed to happen. All right, from a correlation standpoint, what I mean is, if the dollar is giving us head and shoulders, which means it's going to rise, right, and a pair like the odd dollar, where the dollar is on the right, the counter currency, and the odd is on the left, the base currency. Typically, if the dollar is strong, it will push the odd dollar down. But here it is. I'm looking at the chart and I'm like, wait a minute. The odd dollar doesn't look like it wants to go down. It's giving me a head and shoulders, right? Well, I'm sorry, guys. I've been saying the wrong thing. Inverse head and shoulders. Okay. So sorry about that. Here's your head and shoulders pattern, your normal head and shoulders pattern. All right, that's normal head and shoulders. You break the neckline, you fall. Right, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Here's your inverse head and shoulders. So it's like this, like that, like this, like that, and like that. All right, so boom, you can see the opposite here is what we have. This is what I'm talking about. So boom, bam, boom, right, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline, and break above. So these are inverted head and shoulders on the odd dollar and the dollar. So if the dollar is going to go up, well, the odd dollar should go down if we're talking correlation. All right. You know, dollar pushing up should push all of these pairs down because it means that the dollar is stronger and these are weaker, right? Versus if the dollar's on the left, right, it means that, and the dollar's going up, it means that the dollar's strong and these are weaker. So it'll push this pair up. All right. So you guys kind of have to understand that correlation. And, really with any pair, like what's the base, what's the counter? Because if the counter is strong, it's going to push the base down. But if the base is strong, right, from economical, news standpoint, et cetera, it will push the pair up. All right, guys. So please, pay attention to that because that is critical. All right. But in this scenario, right, the odd dollar is showing that it wants to rise, and the dollar shows that it wants to rise. So depending on what I get here on this chart, from a price action standpoint, where the candles start moving and going, I may very well buy the odd dollar, even though the dollar is rising, right? Because I typically should sell it. So again, it's just one of those things, guys, that you got to go with what you see, go with what the chart is giving you, and not what you expect it to be, right? Because I told you guys, like when my alert goes off for the dollar, and it starts rising, well, I can blindly sell the odd dollar. But, you know, doing that is not ideal. Okay. That's just something that, a veteran or a professional can, they're willing to risk from time to time because either they've already analyzed it and they just kind of know, right? But um, there's times where it just doesn't line up, right? So it wouldn't have been smart for me to blindly sell this if the chart is telling me that it wants to go up. All right, that's all I'm getting at. All right, so let's really get some plays, guys. Here again, just kind of write these down. Again, you guys can review this recording, once it's finished, to really get the insight on, these plays for the rest of the day, possibly the rest of the week, just with how they're lined up. All right, so odd dollar looks bullish right now, guys, and you got to just set your alerts to see what happens. But this bad boy can go either way because remember, we broke the uptrend, we consolidated. So yes, we got the head and inverted head and shoulders, but we didn't quite break the neckline in a significant or not a significant, but in a convincing way. All right, let's just put it that way, right? So all of this consolidation, and I would pretty much wait until I see further movement in either direction before I look for that opportunity, that trading opportunity. Another little note, guys. Once news comes out at 8:30, try not to pull the trigger at 8:30 on a trade. All right, try to give it a little bit of breathing room. Right, 30 minutes, we should see something. Right, an hour, we should definitely know something, like which direction is truly headed in. Right, or if it was just some kind of reaction, and then that's when you want to start looking for your opportunities. All right. So again, I'm trying to warn you guys, don't get ran warning by trying to jump the gun on when news drops at 8:30. All right. Give it at least 30 minutes to an hour before you start to make your play, even though the markets are going to be moving at 8:30. Okay, now if you're already in the play or if you see a very nice setup and you want to take it, by all means, do that, right? But if things are iffy on your chart where you don't really know if it's going this way or that way, right? Then just wait a little more because it will initially start to tell you what direction it wants to go in. So for me, again, on this is consolidating. At some point, it will break, start to push up or start to push down, and candles will start closing, right? Opening and closing. And once they close, they're going to give you a better picture of what's going on, right? So if I get above here, chances are we're going to continue rising. Like if I get a candle to push up and close above this high, Julie giving me that break of structure, okay? Then chances are I just need to wait for the pullback and the bulls will show up. Then I take the buy, I aim for this high, and I'll have a lovely day. Okay. But if you guys don't understand this or you're not patient enough to wait for this to develop, then you may buy right here, okay, because of the inverted head and shoulders. And you're like, hey, this thing is going to go up. So you might buy right here. News may push it up just to take out the liquidity that sits behind this high for people who sold from here and put their stop losses back here. It may just push it up, take it out, and then boom, hit you with a reversal. And you're like, what? I thought this thing was going to rise, right? That's why just waiting and being patient is such an underrated thing in the world of trading, especially in Forex. Okay, so guys, trying to teach you, trying to get you guys hip, right, to where you will avoid a lot of just things that will aggravate you in the Forex market, especially when you don't know it, right? When you typically learn and find out the hard way, right? I'm trying to be daddy and keep you guys from putting your hand on the stove. All right. So that's it for the odd dollar. But most likely, these are all in soup. But let's just check. All right, euro dollar. All right, broke previous day's high, and this bad boy looks like it can definitely rise. So guys, I'm getting the vibes from the major pairs. The the non-dollar based pairs, that they want to rise. Okay, and I can see, higher low. I'm sorry, yeah, higher low here, and then we still made higher highs, higher lows. We broke structure, so this was a temporary downtrend, which again, in the grand scheme of things, it's just a pullback. So this looks like it wants to rise, and yeah, this one is something I think I might take right now, but if I do, I'm just going to take it with a very small lot size. News that's coming out, but here is your double bottom. Okay, very nice double bottom. We got the break of the neckline, which actually was the break of the previous day's high. All right, so now what we really want, again, and Julie, here it is, another example of a change. All right, this is the change. So here is where we broke the low, right, made the new low, did a little dancing, all right, made the same equal low, okay, equal lows. That's where the double bottom comes in. And now here was our high that we broke. So this is yesterday's high, the swing, this little swing right here. We broke it, and now this is a change of character because we were going down, but now we broke this high and we're going up. So this is the change, all right? So now all you really need to do, guys, really follow me right now with this one, all right? Get your notepads ready, okay? What you do when you have a break of structure, right, or a change of character, you need to find out where did that come from, all right? So like, let's look at this. Here, down here, I'll say here is our last bear candle. You guys see that? I'm just outlining it a little bit. Okay, boom. So I'm really talking about this candle right there. Okay, that is our last bear candle. Okay, our last bear candle before price pushed up and broke above the high. So here's where our order block sits, and it is unmitigated, meaning we have not come back to that to mitigate it, all right, to balance out things. All right, there's another order block that kind of sits right here. It's very tiny, but I'll put it on this one just because it has more base to it. But there it is. There's another one. Okay, Bain, why I don't get it. Why are you looking at these order blocks? What the hell? What is this supposed to mean? Well, again, guys, when you get the break of character, break of structure, or the change of character, this is how you begin to set up your trade. Right? These things need to happen first, right? If for all my traders who are having some success in any asset of trading, you guys know that you get the break of a trend line, you get the break of support, you get the break of resistance, and then it's go time for looking for your opportunities. That's what always comes first, right? Is the break or the change, right? Could be of support or resistance, could be of a trend line, could be of a moving average, could be of some other indicator. It doesn't matter, but it always starts with a break on in one direction or another, of breaking a high or a low. In this case, we broke a high. All right. So now all we need to do is find where that move originated, and we found it. Here's the last bear candle before it pushed up and broke that high. Here's also, we did a little consolidating, so we moved sideways, and then we started to push up again to break that high. So here, we have another little order block, that last bear candle there, right? So when you do this, guys, when you figure out where these order blocks are, right? What initiated the breaks or the change of characters. This tells you, guys, this is where the bulls stepped in. This is where the institution stepped in. This is where volume stepped in to push price up. All right. So at some point, guys, these market makers, these institutions, they want to continue to fill or place more orders at these prices for whatever reason. They like these prices. All right, it's can't give you the rhyme or reason, but just know that there is something to understanding where price took off from, going up, or where price fell from going down. That those things mean something. So here again, you find the original push, or the beginning of the move that broke, gave you the change of character or the break of structure. Once you find it, right? as well as, there may be some fair value gaps. Like I see one right here. I'll just, put it out. So here to here, there is a gap in price. Okay. So fair value gap to the upside. So now, guys, you can even see how like price, when we got this gap, price came right back into the gap, right before it started rising again. So you see this enough, you start to say, "Oh, okay, I get it." So if it comes to the gap, chances are it wants to go up again. All right, I'm gonna test out your theory, Bain. I'm gonna buy from the gap. I'm gonna buy from the order block, and I'm gonna see what happens, right? But again, all that is over time for you to really see what actually happens, and then be convinced of it, and then be sold by it, and then absolutely take it in to your how you analyze getting into a trade. Like you'll stand on this, like you'll really believe in it, and you'll make your plays off of it. But most people will never do the thing that they need to, right? Which is set this all up, look for it, wait for it, and then doing that enough times to really understand, okay, this shit works, right? That's what it's all about. All right. So our dollar's kind of going off. Let me just see which direction. All right. Look, see, it's falling, right? Again, I said that we're in that inverted head and shoulders, and we could begin to rise. Again, all of this is still possible, but because of news, just got to be careful. All right, guys. Euro dollar, same deal. It looks very good for the buy because it broke the high, got double bottom, right? And we got some places that we can place orders from. So typically what I'll do is I'll place orders at these, right? I'll have a buy limit here. Okay. I'll have another buy limit right here at the beginning, right? Just close to it or within it, right? And I'll have another buy limit right here. Okay. Now, when news hits, right? If the news is good for the dollar, right? But and it pushes it up. Hey, this will come down, and then my buy limit order will get activated, right? Maybe it'll push it down a little further. This one will get activated, right? That order. Maybe it'll go a little deeper, right? And then this one will get activated. Either way, I'm in 3 trades, right? If this, if it just kind of gets all the way here, I'll be in 3 trades for a buy. So as the dollar's going up, maybe that was the knee-jerk reaction, right? Because I told you guys about that, right? Give it an hour. And then the real move is down. So now the real move, right? This initially went down, right? The opposite when it went up, this initially went down, and now because going down on the dollar is the real move, look, all my trades will start to rise, and I will be in profit. Okay, guys, I'm trying to tell y'all once again, these CPI days are one of the days that you can absolutely get paid. All right, especially if you trade like the indices, right? Because the way that the dollar moves, sometimes these indices just explode, right? Like they explode, right? You always kind of hear. Don't be surprised if you guys are watching CNBC or what whichever um, news feed you look at for financial news. Don't be surprised if you see them talk about how the indices had almost a crazy day, whether they go up or down, right? It's because CPI. All right, but guys, sorry to talk your head off and what have you, but the education is way more important. It'll always line you up for any trade that you may happen to see, right? Once you get the understanding, you guys can start looking at anything and being able to take advantage. All right, so let's just kind of run through now. All right, GU, same deal, guys. It looks like it could rise. Okay. Kind of got like a falling channel. I might be stretching this a little, but yeah, it's giving me falling channel vibes. Mm, yeah, I could be forcing this. All right, but yeah, so again, it's already kind of respecting this area as support and breaking out of that channel a little bit. But let's look at the correct the daily high and the low. Okay, so it's consolidating. Again, that's what price typically does right before news, guys. Just trying to get y'all hip to it again. All right, but GU again, guys, the way it looks like it wants to rise, and I will be looking for a buying opportunity, uh, when the time comes. But uh, right now, it's just, because I'm really kind of forcing this. Um, yeah, I'm forcing this channel just a bit. Um, it's not clean like I would like for it to be, but ultimately, we're just consolidating for the moment. So we can do anything from here. We can still break and fall. We can still respect and rise. All right. But for the moment, again, it looks more bullish than anything. All right, guys. So odd dollar again looks, inverted head and shoulders, looks like it could rise. Right. So it's all looking bullish, guys. And typically, to be honest with you, CPI usually causes the dollar to fall, right? Just because it's usually been bad for the times that I can remember throughout the year. Um, and we haven't really quite broken the neckline just yet to go up, right? So we're pulling back, but we could still remember from what I told you guys on this higher time frame on the daily. Again, this is all pullback, even though it was an uptrend for 2 weeks. This is all a pullback to the overall downtrend. So, like, if here's a high, let's go, yeah, let's go with this high, right? And we'll go with this low for Fibonacci level, right? So put it up, boom, bam, and guys, we're rejecting the 50 golden zone. All right. So again, I can see the dollar falling, guys, even though I want it to rise, right? Because, the inverse head and shoulders, but that may not happen. Okay. So if it begins to fall, guys, it's going to be a field day for us buying the odd dollar, right? Buying the euro dollar, which already looks good with the double bottom, and then potentially buying the pound dollar because it's respecting support and it had a bit of a falling channel or falling wedge, which is a bullish reversal pattern. Right? You guys will learn all these things, and more if you come and join my Discord. You can get to it by going to my website. Again, it's www.forexwithbain.com. All right, there you have it. Again, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. So again, New Zealand dollar, same situation where we're consolidating, but we broke a trend line, an uptrend line. Okay, so look at it from the higher time frame. Looks a little clear. Broke that trend line, and then we fell, and we just started to consolidate. That's what happened with the odd dollar. We broke a trend line, and we can see, odd dollars moving, but we started to, not get much of anything. And again, it's why, guys, because of the news. You got it. All right. All right, man. This looks ugly. Yep, I'm skipping it. All right. I'm not even gonna do anything with pound odd, leaving that alone. All right, here, pound cat. This looks better. Okay. From yesterday. Yesterday. Okay. Okay. So far, it is looking bearish, but mm, 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 mm. So break a trend line. We made a new low, lower high, same low, lower high. I mean, same high, lower high, lower. I mean, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Guys, this is, I would take my chances selling this for sure. And again, this doesn't have the dollar in it. So technically it's not affected by the news this morning. But I'm just going to go down to a lower time frame to get a little bit more details. But we may have our play of the morning so far with the pound cat for a sell. And the only thing that concerns me is these lows. All right, they're equal. Okay, so we're in a big time downtrend here, and this this move up kind of, gave us a change of character, but we never, after we came back to test what used to be resistance as support, we didn't rise from here to continue going up. We broke back in and we just stayed around these lows. So now, even though we respected resistance right here, this concerns me a little bit as like it might just come back down here and then maybe do one of these numbers. All right. But at the same token, right, when you look at that, you're saying, okay, it could rise, right? But what's really telling you that it's going to rise overall? How many things do you have telling you that price is going to go up? And to be quite honest with you, I don't have a lot. If to be really honest, I don't really have anything, right? It's yeah, these equal lows could be a double bottom, right? But I don't really have anything outside of that. Like it broke this structure level, but then it got rejected by the resistance level. So, you know, when I look at this, guys, I'm just trying to weigh out what, and we do this all the time in trading. It's just we go with the, it's a game of probability, right? It's a game of odds, right? And when I'm looking at the higher time frame, I'm like, man, the chances of this falling looks higher than the chances of it rising, right? Because again, all my structure, I got here's all the things. The trend line break, all right? That's one, right? The market structure is now in a downtrend, right? That's two. Number three, I have a nice bearish engulfing candle rejecting resistance after it went and probably tapped into an order block somewhere up here. And then, it's beginning to consolidate. But overall, this is a lower high, right? As we're starting to push down. So I have more things telling me to sell than I have things telling me to buy. So, guys, I'm going to take this for a sell this morning and I'm going to live with the results because I like the structure and I will go above the previous day's high. All right. Because, yes, we can push up a little bit and then, do another number down. But I like this for a sell. And there is my 1 and 2. So 68 pips risking for 179 pips take profit. All right. So I'm selling pound CAD right now. And again, guys, we can do that because, again, this won't technically be affected by the economic news on the dollar. So this is kind of, if you will, trading this pair. All right. So again, here is the play. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for me, guys. All right, pound CAD. All right, this is a sell now. All right, guys, your entry is going to be 1.70496. Stop loss is going to be 1.71171 for 67 pips. Take profit, guys, is going to be 1.68676, 482 pips. All right, guys, if there's a play, and look at that, we're already in profit. All right. So it's kind of a thing for me and my gang, right? We typically see that, and things normally go good. Of course, we have losing days. Everybody does, but you have to be mentally tough and understand that that comes with the the game. All right. If that's something that you think you're going to avoid, I'm sorry. Don't become a part of this because you're going to have a really, really hard time, right? You're going to be cursing at anything and everything when, the real problem is that, it's you, right? It's you should have not done this and you should have not done that. You should have been more patient. You should have waited for better setups, right? You shouldn't have just taken something from someone that told you to without you really knowing anything about it, right? Those are all the pitfalls. Again, I can help you guys avoid that, but it's always an individual journey, right, with how you guys go about, this trading stuff, right? But that's our play for today. Guys, if there's any other plays you want to take a look at, please let me know. and we will take a quick look at it. I'm going to go and run through and see what I can find for the top of the hour, so you guys can get busy with the day. But remember, so far it's all about the dollar and CPI. So look at those majors. See what you have. As a matter of fact, let's kind of look at them real quick. All right, guys, actually, we're going to buy this. So this is ready to go. Let me just adjust the day. Here it is. And boom. Okay. And now I'll explain this pound New Zealand really quick. So again, on here, so I was waiting for this for quite some time, and then here it is. All you got to do is be patient. So I was waiting on this from last week. It had broke out of this falling wedge, and I was waiting for the pullback to the order block. So you see how I have unmitigated here? Well, guess what? It's mitigated now, so that I can change that up. Now it's mitigated, stretch it out, right, and kind of clean up the chart a little bit. Let's see. Okay, kind of go with that. Okay, that is better. And boom, they're kissing. All right. So again, guys, falling pennant, falling wedge, falling channel, however you want to name it, right? It's falling. But the way that it's falling and the way that it broke out, this is a bullish reversal. So now here's where the move initiated, where we broke above this high, where we had that break of structure. I'm sorry, change of character, Julie, right? And then from there, we got our pullback to the original place that price took off from. So right now, guys, I'm going to buy this, even though it did break the low. So sorry about that. Even though it did break the low and we could, hit the previous day's low and then continue falling, right? That is a possibility, okay? But just because of the way that it got to this order block, rejected it, and the bulls started to show up, I'm going to take my chances, right? You know what I mean? So again, when you put the position up, okay, you can see, okay, look, that's 80 pips if I get below this low. But if I just go right below the order block, there's my sweet spot of just 40 pips. All right, I'm with it. Okay, that's me, right? I know that that's how I would like to trade. When I lose trades that's less than 50 pips, I don't bat an eye, right? You know what I mean? Now, if I lose 100 or 200 or 150, right, that's a different story. Okay, but those are just rare. Okay, when you kind of know what you're doing. So for me, guys, again, let me get this on the higher time frame so you guys can kind of see, right? Look at that, right? So yes, downtrend, and I want to be, with the trend. But what I'm seeing was that we had that change of character, and now we're tapping into the order block, respecting it from when we had that change. So we could definitely just turn around from here and rise up. And I'm gonna take my chances with that. Okay. Yep. I know you guys see the rejection. And you're like, hey, this is selling, selling pressure. And then here's another bear candle. Bain, don't you think it's gonna go down? Well, yeah. I mean, from a trend standpoint, okay. But when you get down to the lower time frames, you start to see, now wait a minute, this doesn't quite look like we're breaking below, this level, right? When y'all look at that, that's this, it's not convincing, right? We didn't really break below it yet. Yes, we could later, but as of right now, this thing looks good to me for a buy, just with the way that price was moving and gave me this chart pattern. Okay, so again, you can't just say, okay, it's a downtrend, so I need to be looking for a sell. You have to read the price action all the way through, to whatever time frame you're going to enter on the trade. And a lot of times when you do that, you start to see the changes that it's beginning to make from that downtrend to the uptrend. All right. And again, when you can spot it, you can spot it. So for me, I'm going to buy this, and a play is going to look exactly how the markup looks, just setting some alerts. And they're all for, when price rises, I have no alerts to let me know that it's falling, because I could care less, right? If I lose it, I lose it. All right, but here it is. Buy. Okay. Okay, and this was 134, right? And boom, there's my trade, right? Just looking. Here's the play, guys. Pound, pound New Zealand. So pull that up. Okay, and this is a buy now. Okay, guys, your entry is going to be 2.04496. Okay, stop loss is going to be 2.04096. I know that sounds pretty close, but it's different. All right, 40 pips. Okay, TP is 2.05836, and that is for 134 pips. All right, and this was a falling wedge. Okay, that's a bullish reversal pattern. All right, guys, I'm leaving it at that. Let's take a look at our pound CAD trade, see how that's doing. All right, no movement yet. But again, guys, just got to be patient. You will see red, you will see blue. All right, and you know, at the end of the day, once it's really ready to rock and roll, you know, probably around 9:30, you know, around that time, you know, you'll really start to see what's what. But give it a day. All right, guys, it'll be up and down throughout the day. It may seem like it's going to hit your stop loss, but then it turns around and, you know, starts going down. But if you see that it's pushing up and you're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, I'm gonna lose, and you close the trade, then you've lost the trade. You didn't actually lose the trade. Hope that didn't, you know, hope that made sense. All right, you lost it, but you didn't actually lose it because it never really hit your stop loss. You closed it early, and right when you closed it, that's when it decided to turn around and go in your favor. Guys, stop cutting yourself short of seeing what it's going to be. You need to see that you lose the trade to be like, okay, there's something that I'm not seeing right, and that forces you to learn more, practice more, and get better. So, to be honest, these things are critical and they should not be avoided, right? You should want to see price hit your stop loss, right? And I don't mean that in the way that, you know, it sounds, but you know what I mean, right? It's if you don't let these things play out, you'll never really know if the way that you're assessing things and what you've learned about trading Forex, if it actually works or not, right? You just never know. I'm sorry, all right, but not sorry. Okay, so let it play out. Um, Again, odd dollar, euro dollar, bullish, pound dollar consolidating, New Zealand dollar consolidating, pound odd nothing, pound cat. We got into a sell, pound CHF still consolidating, but yeah, it's too iffy. All right. GJ, all right, the big dog. That's iffy as well. Let me just erase all that. I don't like it, but looking at it, yeah, a little iffy. Dollar cat. All right, so I can see this still looks like it's going to rise. Okay. And again, similar to what we got in on the pound New Zealand, this is a falling channel, broke out, consolidated, and we could definitely begin to rise. It's going to set some alerts. But guys, dollar CAD is looking like a buy. Again, news will really tell us what's the deal, so just be patient. All right. Dollar CHF, right? Kind of had that inverted head and shoulders, broke the neckline, doing a retest, but we don't really know if it's going to continue to fall or not. So this is still kind of up in the air. It still looks a little bearish. Yeah, that looks hella bearish. All right, so I think we're going to drop on the USD CHF. Again, they're all mixed up, guys, which is why it's going to be really important to just wait a little bit after news. All right, USD JPY. All right, looks like it wants to drop as well. So these two look like they want to drop, and this one looks like it wants to rise, even though it could still drop itself because, again, this is still run, pullback, run, pullback. So we could be in the run, right, to where we continue to fall. So all of these, you know, these two look bearish, but this one looks bullish, a little bullish. But they could all fall, right? And they could all still rise, right? We don't know. We just gotta wait a little bit. All right, that's all. Gold. Gold looks like it's gonna drop. Okay. And we'll wrap it up in a second, guys. But here and here, all right. Yeah. So gold looks like it's gonna drop, right? And depending on if news is good for the dollar, that will cause it to drop. But if news is bad for the dollar, then maybe gold will rise. But there's no telling for right now. So again, you just gotta sit back, relax, and let the trade show you what it wants to do, and then start to make your move. All right. Oil. Okay. Oil looks like it's still in the downtrend, right? We broke this low and we pulled back and we're starting to fall. So we could look. I swear, guys, this stuff feels scary. Okay. Oil prices slip again on demand concerns. All right. Let me give you guys this article so you can read up on it. Okay. It's just ridiculous how that goes. All right. Again, the chart already tells me what the news just told me, right? I said it before the news popped up, and that's the beauty of understanding price action and market structure. You don't really need to be a fundamental, trader. You don't really need to know what's going on in the economy because the charts really kind of tell you everything that you need to know, right? But at the same token, it does help to learn or to know certain things or how it affects a pair or commodity or indice, based off of the fundamentals, okay? So again, I would probably sell right now. Actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and sell. Give me a second. Yeah, yeah, guys. I'm gonna sell. Let me just do from here. Okay, either way, nice levels. Yeah, I'm selling oil, guys. Okay, and my stop right above the previous day high, kind of right at the 68. Two. Yeah, so that looks good. All right, and here's the play if you guys want it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go for the gusto. All right, it's just how I roll. But here is oil. Here's the sell now, guys. Your entry is going to be 70.88. Okay, stop loss is going to be 72.18. Take profit is going to be 65.40. Oh, can't type. All right, guys, there is oil. So this morning we've gotten into three plays. Again, guys, gold looks bearish. Y'all know what time it is on the non-dollar based pairs. Um, the dollar-based pairs look bearish. All right, so like I can sell it now. I can see it dropping. I can sell USD CHF, and I can see that dropping. CAD is a little mixed. Okay, but news will definitely tell all. All right, our pound New Zealand. Let me see. All right, it's just doing its normal thing, but we'll see if it rises throughout the day. Again, give everything at least 24 hours, guys. All right, don't close it prematurely. I know it's going to seem tempting, especially when you see red, right? When it looks like it's going against you, but you gotta trust in your analysts and the things that you understand about what it should do, the probability, the odds, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, and run with that. All right, it's just what it is. Again, I can put it in many real life scenarios for you guys, but y'all know what it is. Okay, just go with what gives you more, and trying to stay away from what gives you less. All right, that's the name of the game. Um, Nas, it's already, this is daily, so kind of could, it's a lot that could happen really, but we're definitely in an uptrend on Nas. It's just that's what it is. Um, yeah, this bad boy can still rise. US 30, same deal. Kind of broke the previous day's high, so we can continue rising higher. So guys, just remember that. Remember, I'm telling you guys, dollar could fall. All right, because the structure on the higher time frame is rejecting the 50 golden zone. It broke yesterday's low. All right. So again, we can fall, and that will definitely cause US 30 to kaboom, right? Nas to kaboom, right? Just take off. Oil, on the other hand, right? If that reverses, oh well, it is what it is. But I like the way that it's looking from a market structure standpoint to get into it for a sell. Gold would rise if the dollar falls. If the dollar falls, um, but we don't know, right? We just gotta wait. Got to be patient, guys. So again, if there's any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know right now. I'll be more than happy to answer. But if not, guys, we will call it a morning. Again, I appreciate you guys getting up and rocking with me. I will have a live training tonight, not training, trading live tonight in my Discord. So if you guys want to be a part of that, again, please join. And I will have some Christmas specials for memberships with my Discord. So stay tuned for that. Um, yeah, and tonight will be more eventful as the dust would have, settled obviously during the daytime, and we can really get in there and see how things are set to make some plays. All right, so if you guys are interested, like I mentioned, just come and join the Discord, and you can be a part of that. All right, but again, just want to give you guys a minute or two for any questions, comments, or concerns. All right, guys. If there's nothing, again, I want to thank you guys for joining. Y'all be safe out there on the road, and I'll see you guys in the meantime, in between time. All right. Peace. Have a great morning.